So if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that I kind of maybe used to be a little bit of a fat kid. I was a lot heavier and I've lost a bunch of weight. It's not because I went on some special diet or something. About 22 months ago, I had Hiatal Hernia surgery. That's where your stomach goes up in your esophagus. And I dealt with it since I was in the military, clear back in 2002, 2003. And so it was time to finally get it fixed. So I went ahead and got it fixed. And then this end of May, beginning of June, about there, I kind of started getting sick. And they found out that that surgery had actually come apart. So the repair that they made had come apart. And I was a little bit frustrated about it because I kind of thought it was going to be life as usual. But I guess come to find out, I probably shouldn't have been doing some of the things that I was doing, which caused the issue. So at the beginning of June, run down to the emergency room, they find out what's wrong, get me into surgery, a 10.5-hour surgery later, and 10 days in the hospital. I'm released. And they say you can lift 10 pounds for the next 6 weeks. Then for the next 6 weeks after that, it's 20 pounds. Then unfortunately, for the rest of my life, it's only 50 pounds. And if you're familiar with the channel, you see that I do all kinds of stuff. I'm lifting way more than 50 pounds all the time. And so I would say, for one, if you plan on doing a bunch of crazy stuff all the time, you might want to give this surgery another thought. I probably wouldn't have changed it just because I've been on the medication for so long to control acid reflux because of the hiatal hernia. And so it was getting to the point to where there was a little bit of esophageal damage that they wanted to make sure that it didn't turn cancerous. And so it's like, you know, you better get this taken care of. So I was kind of at the point of it needed to be taken care of. But if if doctors maybe throw this out there as an idea, definitely think about what the repercussions are of the surgery. Unfortunately, so I'm stuck at 50 pounds for the rest of my life. They don't want to see me lift over 50 pounds. So all my weightlifting equipment, all that stuff, I'm getting rid of all that. And so I guess the way I think about it is I went from being 42 years old to 72 years old. So what would 72-year-old Brentley do? He'd probably try to find some other way to lift some heavy things. And so I decided I would get forks for my tractor. So I called a local Yanmar dealership for some tractor forks. They said they wanted a little over $1,500 and shipping for their forks. I found a place on the other side of the state that manufactures these forks. It was $770 delivered to my door. I did buy the forks to bolt onto the tractor. Unfortunately, with some of the things that I plan on doing in the future, I don't think those are going to be safe. So one of the things that I want to do is get an actual gas tank that's maybe about 50 gallons that I can load it in the back of my truck, run it to the gas station, fill it up, and bring it back, and then use that for a lot of the summer just to fill up lawn tractors and four-wheelers and stuff like that. Because with the weight of gas cans, 5-gallon gas cans, that's going to be tough for me to move around. And of course, I don't want to take a bunch of small gas cans to go fill a bunch of small gas cans at the gas station. So these forks seem a lot more sturdy. Of course, the forks are back closer to the tractor, and so they seem a lot more stable, and they seem to be able to lift a lot more, especially with these heavy oak logs. And so from now on, when you watch the channel, I might look like more of a sissy depending on what I'm doing. and hopefully these forks are going to help me not have any issues with any repairs or anything like that. If you do have any of these issues with GERD or your hiatal hernia repairs, things like that, feel free to reach out to me or ask questions in the comments, and I'll try to answer questions just based on what I went through. So grateful for everyone to support our channel. Thanks for watching.